Fire hit 3 people outside a nightclub in Virginia Beach. That story still developing from the weekend. 3 people, including 2 women, are recovering tonight, and the sheriff is concerned about safety in the area. 10 on Your Side was there as police came to Bentley's on Newtown Road. The shootings coming just days after changes were made to security at the club. 10 on Your Side's Ann McNamara is live outside. And what kind of changes did the club make, Ann?
Well, those changes were made Wednesday or Thursday. The deputies are no longer allowed to work at certain bars in this area. Previously, off-duty deputies could work in uniform anywhere they liked as long as it was approved by the sheriff. So the sheriff made this list of places they cannot work. We've posted it for you on wavy.com. And as you look down it, you might think some of these places aren't that much trouble, and that's true. Some have more calls than others to police. The sheriff says no place had more calls than Bentley's.
People don't know how to control their alcohol, this, that, and the third, and then emotions get to flaring up. So, I mean, that's kind of normal.
The violence that has become the norm at local nightclubs is not acceptable to Sheriff Ken Stolle. He says Bentley's on Newtown Road is at the top of the list. There have been 300 calls and 19 arrests at this address in the last year.
Most of the clubs had less than 10 calls during the year, and so 300 was indicative of a huge problem there. And I think the shooting that you had last night was just another example of the out-of-control environment that's at that establishment.
Warrants describe Bentley's patrons, quote, stumbling around, yelling and swearing. Just this month, one belligerent patron said this to a deputy working security, quote, "You are just security. What the is you going to do?" It's that attitude coupled with recurring violence that prompted Sheriff Stolle to forbid deputies from working at certain bars.
It's ironic that we took this action last week and the shooting took place, 3 or 4 days later.
But is it irony or coincidence? Some citizens think the violence would have been prevented had the deputies been in the parking lot.
And that sounds dumb. I mean, ain't that's their job to protect people, protect and serve, right? But I guess they ain't getting paid enough, huh?
Sheriff Stolle's response, look at the stack of evidence, incidents that happened while deputies were there. He says what's worse, having deputies outside dangerous clubs gives patrons a false sense of security.
Any of those wounds could have been fatal, and had the guy been a better shot, they may have been fatal.
Thank goodness they were not. We've called Bentley's different numbers. Numbers we're told belong to managers. We have not received any calls back. We'll post their response on wavy.com if we get one. Live in Virginia Beach, I'm Ann McNamara, 10 on Your Side.
All right, Ann, and now we have new information coming in.